Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the ultra slim laptop AZPEN Hybrix A1160, and this was going on Kickstarter, and it was really cheap at the time, and so I just decided to pick it up. I got this for about $70, and this is the 16 gigabyte model with 2 gigs of RAM, so this was the cheapest you could get from the Kickstarter. So let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, so here we have a nice looking box. A64 quad core, 11.6 inch LCD, 6000 milliamp battery, and it comes with Remix 2.0, and they may be working on 3.0, but that's not completed at the time. 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage, and I got the white version. So let's go ahead and open this up. Here we have the laptop itself with the AZPEN logo on it. It looks nice and clean. Let's look what else is in here. It's got the user manual, and this is going to be running Remix OS, which is a version of Android for computers. And this laptop doesn't actually have a touchscreen, but since Remix OS is designed for computers, it should work just fine. And then look beyond here, and it just has the charger. So that's all that comes with the laptop. First of all, let's go ahead and turn this on to see it boot up. The power button is right with the keyboard, and it looks like it needs to be charged, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and then we can turn it on. So it's not doing anything right now. Huh. Okay, now let's let it boot up. Okay, now let's go through the setup. English. User agreement. It says in a previous version of Android you turned off access to your location. Turn it back on. Say not now. Go through the user agreement. The mouse doesn't work at this point for whatever reason. So you kind of have to use the buttons or tab. Tab works. Okay, and now we have the mouse again. Well, it disappeared for whatever reason. Okay, so something's up with this touchpad. I'll figure that out later. Okay, so here's the mouse is working again. So let's. Oh, and it stopped working. Okay, so the touchpad is turning on and off. Since the touchpad is sort of freezing up, I'm going to just use a mouse and just show y'all some of the things on here. It's just like a normal operating system, just like Windows. You can open up multiple windows and things like that. Although it's running Android, it has a very good support for multi-window. Now I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with the touchpad. That might be something wrong with this current production, or it could be some setting or something that needs to be fixed, but I'll figure that out later. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. I'm not going to go through too much with the actual operating system itself, but it seems to run pretty smooth. Nothing would be too slow to work on. This seems a pretty good speed for everything. And now I just want to actually shut this down, and I wanted to look at the back of the laptop and see if there's expandable storage like on regular laptops. So I want to just go ahead and unscrew the backing here. So we've got the back off, and it looks like there's not much you can replace. There is the touchpad. The two speakers were sort of just glued onto the top of this thing, and then the motherboard itself. So there's probably not really any expandable storage that can be done. This just goes to the boxing for the inside, so it looks like the processor and memory is all in here. You can see that there's a Kingston chip right here, Kingston chip right here, and it looks like for the other models they might have been able to add in a chip right here and a chip right here. Here's the A64, the A64 processor. Everything else, here we have the wireless for Wi-Fi. Got the battery, supposedly a 6,000 milliamp battery. So there's nothing crazy here. You could get into the keyboard underneath this, but that's not necessary. And while we're at it, since the touchpad was having some issues, I could try taking out and putting back in the touchpad cables. Okay, so I reconnected the touchpad cables just in case that was the problem. Doesn't look like there's anything that can be expanded. And we didn't look at the side ports. There is a micro SD card slot, a micro HDMI slot, and a USB slot, and then the charging port, of course. And this is the charging light. On this side there's another USB port, as well as a headphone jack. So I've got this thing back together, and well, guess I can turn it on one more time and see if the touchpad is working. And so it's back on, and this thing popped up again, wanting me to turn on the location. I'm gonna say not now again, and hopefully it won't bother me. Okay, and it just popped up back again. And right now the touchpad is actually working. So it is possible that disconnecting and reconnecting the touchpad fixed the issue. But right now it does look like the touchpad is working fine now. Let's go to the Play Store. So I'm just going to say yes to turn back this location thing on and see if it'll just stop prompting me. That's a bit annoying. You do double tap on apps on the desktop rather than single clicking like you would do on a normal Android thing. So they have adapted everything to sort of desktop type thing. And now we are on the Play Store. So now we can just get any apps we want. And it also does come with the Amazon store as well. The Amazon Underground App Store. I want to look if there's any developer settings on here. So if I go to About PC, if we triple tap on build number, we should be able to get developer settings. So now it shows that we are a developer. And the back button is right up here, which is pretty interesting. There's also a back button over here, as well as a home button, and it looks like a pinned app for downloads. Okay, so you can pin apps like this. So you could put, I use Chrome a lot, so I'd put that down here. And now let's go down to developer options again. And let's see if they have ADB over Wi-Fi. There is USB debugging, but it doesn't look like there's ADB over Wi-Fi. You can also see that this is running Android version 5.1.1. I wanted to check how a launcher would run on Remix OS. I wanted to see how that works on here. If the taskbar would still be here, or if it would replace the taskbar and the whole apps thing. So I'm going to download my launcher app, Lucid Launcher, and install. So it's finished installing, so let's see what happens when I press the home button. Okay, so it's not even detecting that Lucid Launcher is here. You could open it, and it says no support for third-party launchers. It came up with a toast message that said that. So unfortunately that does not work. Another great thing about this operating system is the file manager. You can open multiple windows of the file manager. And with multiple windows you can drag, copy and paste images. You could just press copy from right here and paste it into the documents. There's all sorts of things like that. That's one great thing about this operating system is the file manager itself. So that's about it. This is the overview of the AZPEN Hybrid A1160. And this is just a first look at it. It's a quick unboxing. I hope you enjoyed this video. My first impressions are, well, it looks really nice. It runs pretty smoothly for the most part. And besides the few issues at the very start with the touchpad not working and the dialog box coming up constantly, that wasn't a big issue. And turns out this is a great laptop for the price, especially since it started out at $70, or I got it for about $70. You should be able to buy this directly from their website sometime soon, if not now. So now that the Kickstarter is over, it does look like they are selling this product for a bit more expensive. This is $139 for the 16 gigabyte edition. There's $159 for 32 gigabyte and $179 for the 64 gigabyte. So it is quite a bit more, and this is all in USD price. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button if you like these types of videos.